President Biden spent his Sunday in El Paso. This marks his first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border since the start of his presidency just over 2 years ago. And Governor Greg Abbott believes this trip is long overdue.
I told him how thousands of Texans have lost their lives, that tens of thousands of Texans have had their lives destroyed by his open border policies. But most importantly, I provided to him something that he asked for. The president asked for solutions from Republicans.
The governor handed a letter to the president listing 5 specific things Abbott says need to happen to ease the crisis at the border. Here is Governor Abbott's plan. Detain those who cross. Resume the Remain in Mexico policy. Prosecute illegal entry. Resume border wall construction. And label Mexican drug cartels as foreign terrorist organizations. But the Biden administration has its own views of how to stop an influx of migrants, and this is just the beginning of a trip that will also take the president into Mexico. Here's ABC's Mary Alice Parks.
President Biden traveling to El Paso, Texas, visiting the U.S. border with Mexico for the first time since becoming president. Joining him at the border, Homeland Security Secretary Mayorkas, who maintains the immigration issue is not unique to the United States.
This is something that is not unique to the United States. It's gripping the hemisphere, and a regional challenge requires a regional solution.
The administration announcing new plans to combat the crisis at the border. As a part of that plan, an agreement with Mexico for the U.S. to expel more migrants back to Mexico, while at the same time expanding a policy to allow 30,000 migrants a month from Cuba, Haiti, Nicaragua, and Venezuela to seek short-term legal status if they meet strict criteria and have a U.S. sponsor.
Do not just show up at the border. Stay where you are and apply legally from there.
Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott criticizing the president's plan.
Those changes will probably do nothing more than entice more illegal immigration. You have to implement the policies in my letter.
The president admitting there is much more work to do, calling on Congress to act.
Now they have a choice. They can keep using immigration to try to score political points, or they can help solve the problem.
After his visit to the border, the president set to travel to Mexico City for 2 days of meetings with the Mexican president and Canadian prime minister. Mary Alice Parks, ABC News, Washington.